Central Minnesota Sports Hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
Powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. This is the Morning Sports Desk. I'm CJ Baumgartner, Corey Tackman over there, and this is why you listen and watch on YouTube, because you see our guy in the middle there, Tyler Grunewald, Staples-Motley play-by-play football voice, joining us here on the program. Tyler, this is a big game tonight, huh?
I had to take a day off of work from my normal job just because I'm so excited for this one coming up tonight. Going to Barnesville. I'm married to a Barnesville high school graduate, so this game means a lot more for me, as it's almost going to be a homecoming for her and our kids and family gathering. So this just means a lot in our household for sure.
Have you guys been talking to each other all week? Is it if Staples-Motley wins, is she going to ignore you all weekend? How's that looking?
Oh no, she got her cup full of that last year in the state quarterfinals. So the double overtime victory that the Cardinals got over the Trojans in last I think it was early November, yeah, and it was a fun night out in the cold in St. Cloud with my boy Zeke. It was a fun night and something I'll never forget for sure, and I'm sure Cardinal fans will not soon forget as well.
Tyler, before we do a full preview then of tonight's game, because there is a lot to talk about, let's go back. That game with DGF a week ago, kind of really the first big challenge on the schedule. How did it work out for the Cardinals? How'd they look? How did that matchup play itself out?
The Cardinals really faced their first big test of the season, as you said, but it showed up in the game as well. They really had a lot of adversity as the Cardinals had to kind of play from behind a little bit, as they were DGF was a very big and physical team, and they found a way to find some holes in that Cardinals defensive front, but the Cardinals were able to adjust and really adapt to what DGF was trying to do to them, and Staples-Motley was able to shore up those weaknesses that DGF perceived the Cardinals to have, and made the adjustments and was able to shut down DGF for most of the second half of the game. There was a lot of interesting plays as well, some big plays, whether it be turnovers. The Cardinals threw an interception on their opening drive, which is very rare, so DGF had a lot of momentum. It was also homecoming. It's such a great atmosphere there. I've never been to a home game at DGF, so that was my first time in Glendon, seeing that field, and it was really beautiful. But a lot of fans and a lot of people, and it was really rowdy, and they have a really good atmosphere at DGF, that's for sure.
And, like you said, Tyler, to see that kind of, for lack of a better term, to get punched in the mouth a little bit, see how they respond, see how they do that, in your perspective and in talking with Coach Potter too, what was it like seeing the team when that happened? How did they look? Were they locked in? Did you see them get shaken at all? How was that?
I think it got them more focused, if anything. You start to get not lackadaisical because you're always ready for every game, but you see some of these leads, and you're like, okay, well, now it's kind of like, all right, let's see what the younger guys can do. With this one, it's like, no, we got to play 4 quarters of good football, and the game really did go down to the wire, as it was only a 10-point victory for the Cardinals. DGF was driving late in that one as well. Some big plays by Connor Coons, as he had an interception, a fumble, a big special teams tackle. He also leads the team in receptions this season. He's been kind of that guy that you don't really see a lot of headlines with, but he makes a lot of big plays, and he really fills up that stat sheet. As you see his line, if you look at his stat sheet, it's got a lot of 1s, 2s, and 3s on there, and he really makes a big positive impact for this Cardinals team in all aspects of the game.
All right, let's do it. Let's preview it. This is a big-time matchup. I know that this is a game that's been circled on the calendar since the schedules came out, because it's Barnesville Trojan homecoming night tonight on top of it. So 2 homecoming weeks in a row, or 3 technically for Staples-Motley. Usually you schedule someone on your homecoming night on purpose. What does this matchup look like for the Cardinals? And Is there a little extra? And I will have, once you answer this, by the way, I do have a follow-up because I think it's kind of important here, but I want you to just talk about this matchup tonight in Barnesville for their homecoming.
Well, to give you some more context about Barnesville, because I did quite a bit of research on looking back at the last 10 years of their football calendar, and they've lost twice at home in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
The last time that they lost was October 17th, 2018 to Breckenridge by a point. And the time before that was Holly by 2. So they're really good at home. I don't care what they've done earlier in the season. Yeah, they lost to Pillager earlier in the season. They kind of got thwacked, and that was kind of an eye-opening thing to see how really good Pillager is, who, let's not get too carried away, but Pillager comes to Staples next week. But Barnesville's been on such an incredible run. I mean, I lived in Staples for 3 weeks the last time that Barnesville lost. So that's how long that Barnesville's been winning at home. So they have that winning mentality. They've been running the same wishbone double type formation forever, and it's been effective enough to win a state championship and get to that state championship game multiple times. They're going to have a lot of that same type of look that you've seen from Barnesville year after year. Just some new faces, and it's going to be strap up the chin straps, get the shoulder pads tightened up, because it's going to be a hard-hitting physical game, and one that the Cardinals, I know, have been looking forward to, and as I've reiterated multiple times, I've really been looking forward to this one all season long, as I will get to see one of my old friends and mentors, Derek Hansen, calling the game for the Barnesville Trojans on the other side. So it's going to be another one of those homecoming and seeing an old friend as well. And it's going to be a lot of fun. That's for sure.
So the follow-up to this is, we'll call it a little bit of a down year for the Barnesville Trojans. Now they're 4-1.
Yeah, exactly. So keep that in mind.
Their only loss is to the number 1 team in the state, according to QRF, the Pillager Huskies. So we call it a down year out of respect for where that program is at. But you also teased it that the Pillager Huskies, that game is next week. Is there any sense at all that, like, hey, Barnesville's down, they schedules for their homecoming game, we're starting to eye up Pillager? Is that, for lack of a better term, this isn't trap week potential, is it?
Oh, I would absolutely wholeheartedly disagree, and anybody even thinking that this is a trap game. This is still a big time football program that's going to have that, as I said, has a winning mentality. They know how to win football games. I don't care how much they win by, they still can do it. And turnover here, turnover there, and you're down 14 real fast, and then you have to change your game plan real fast. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination anybody is taking this Barnesville team for granted whatsoever. I think it's going to be business as usual. Let's go to Barnesville, take care of business on their field, and then we'll worry about what's coming up next week. I really think that that's the mentality going into this game. I haven't heard one whiff of Pillager. It's all been Barnesville. Let's see if we can take that streak down and, maybe even make a statement. Pillager beat Barnesville up pretty big by 2 scores. We'll see what Staples-Motley can do at Barnesville, and really see how the Cardinals can face that same Trojan team, and then maybe the Cardinals will be boosted up, and maybe we'll see a 1-2 matchup next week in Staples-Motley right here on the Fan, Yeah,
exactly. And, it's interesting, too. You kind of threw that nugget out there, Tyler, of Barnesville had to go to Pillager. Now Staples-Motley has to go to Barnesville, and Barnesville's a tough place to play. I've talked with other coaches, and I'll leave it anonymous, but he was telling me about his team going up into Barnesville. They had a good team. Barnesville had a good team. And he's like, we got put in the blender, and before we could even know what happened, we were down 28-0 going into halftime. And it's like, the rest of the game was competitive, whatever. Like, you felt like they got their footing, but also like they just weren't, like, all of a sudden you get in there and you get in the game and Barnesville just knows what to do at home. What's it like going on the road? Have you talked with Coach Potter? What's kind of the strategy for trying to go into this tough environment?
I think it's just like any other road game. You just gotta go with that mentality of there's going to be distractions. There's going to be a lot of people. You're not gonna, the sun's going to be in your eyes if it's that type of a situation. Those types of things. You're not going to have those home type of advantages that you would have playing here at Staples-Motley. But at the same time, you have to. It's still 100 yards, 120 if you add the end zones. It's still the same type of field. You still got to go and make the plays and compete at the same level and just kind of shut out those distractions. Because really, once the game starts, in football, that home field kind of goes away in football. Once the game starts, you just start hitting people. It's all about the game at that point, and you really don't hear much about the crowd at all. Remember playing back when it dated myself a long time ago. You get in that mentality and game, and you're just worried about the guy across from you and making sure you're doing your job for your team, and you can't hear anything. You can barely hear your coaches half the time. So I don't think the Cardinals have much to worry about once game time starts. They'll just let's see what happens, helmet to helmet, and may the best team win. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. I'm as I can say again, I'm looking forward to this one very much so.
40 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff tonight on AM1430 and 98.5 FM. The Fan. Tyler, CJ, anything else before we let Tyler get back to his day off festivities?
You will not freeze in the press box this time. The weather conditions are much different than the last time Staples-Motley took on Barnesville. So
I'm knock on wood, but it's been such great weather other than that one rainy homecoming game, which Zeke and I were likely enough to be in the press box. And I'm very grateful and happy to have Zeke back with me in Barnesville, just in case we're not in the press box and have to sit with the fans again. You never know. We got a lot of dirty looks last year when we did that in St. Cloud. So let's see what happens this year, because I guarantee you I will be excited on the call, and I'm not going to hold back at all.
For the record, for those who don't know, Tyler and Zeke had to do play-by-play for that state quarterfinal game at St. Cloud Tech. Not in the press box, but in front of the press box and directly behind the Barnesville fans. So, Tyler, you and Zeke do a great job. Looking forward to another good one tonight on The Fan. 6:40 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff, 98.5 FM, AM 1430. Have a good call tonight, Tyler.
Hey, thanks, guys. You have a good one.
All right, once again, that's Tyler Grunewald, play-by-play voice for Staples-Motley Cardinal football on KNSP The Fan. And, just another great game in that one. We talk about how loaded that section is. We don't need to say it again. We can wait till next week when there's a Section 6AA game between Staples-Motley and Pillager. That should be really fun. Corey, another fun one tonight. You mentioned homecoming for Barnesville. How about homecoming for Wadena-Deer Creek as they host Frazee? Coming into this matchup, Frazee is 3-2. Wadena-Deer Creek is 2-3. They've played a lot of like opponents this season. It's a 5:40 pregame, a 6 o'clock kickoff on 101.7 FM and AM 920 KWAD. Also online at wadenaradio.com/KWAD. And the reason it's an hour early kickoff, Corey, is because Wadena-Deer Creek, after school this afternoon, is going to be honoring the Hall of Fame class of 2025. And we talked with Wadena-Deer Creek Activities Director Norm Gallant on Monday, and you can see the clips and go back and listen to that show. Kind of talking about the whole class. We don't need to repeat that again, but just an awesome thing they're doing and a loaded class this year to kind of make up for some lost time. They're going to honor them at halftime, so they're just giving themselves a little more time so the game doesn't get too deep into the night in Wadena. But there's going to be a lot of energy with that. It's homecomings. There's always a lot of energy there. Wadena-Deer Creek is coming off of a win against Menahga the week before, 36-30. So there's just a lot of things, Corey, that are happening in this ball game. For Frazee, they're a little bit more senior-heavy team. They got 9 seniors on their roster. Wadena-Deer Creek has about half that. For Frazee, they're coming off a 31-12 loss to Parker's Prairie last Friday night. And now they try and look to get back in the win column throughout this season. And talking with Coach Russ Hackle a little bit of Frazee, kind of mentioned, he said, we don't have any section games in our regular season. We play all games out of our section. Wadena-Deer Creek only played one game in section this year, and that was against Menahga a week ago. But talking with Frazee, he said, we don't have a section opponent. And honestly, he's like, we are about 7 kids away from being a Class A team this year. But here we are in Section 8AA, which of course has Barnesville leading the charge. But Corey, after that, Frazee Hornets at 3-2 are in second place in that section. Now, Barnesville has about a double QRF lead, but Frazee trying to hang on and kind of stave off Pelican Rapids for that 2 seed in the section. There's Warroad, Holly, Roseau, Crookston as well in that section standings. And again, talking with Frazee's head coach, kind of said this Wadena-Deer Creek team just reminds him of where their team was a couple years ago, where they were kind of trying to get through some of those underclassmen, get them up to upperclassmen, kind of get them in their offense, get the things rolling. So it should be an interesting one tonight. Wadena-Deer Creek obviously felt like they finally got that offensive breakout game that they wanted a week ago against Menahga. So trying to see if they can make it 2 weeks in a row will be important. And just, again, a fun homecoming atmosphere. 5:40 pregame, 6 o'clock kickoff. Join me and Dirk Schultz tonight on KWAD. And by the way, swing a little bit early to the game because the Lions have the Burger Bash going, which I will, of course, be partaking in because hamburgers, high school football, it's like a match made in heaven,
Match made in heaven, indeed. That should be, that game tonight on KWAD online, wadenaradio.com/KWAD as well. If you can't make the Burger Bash, CJ, maybe, just maybe, you want to do your pregame festivities at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Remember, on Thursday nights, they do wing night, boneless, traditional wings, tons of different sauces, all on the buffet. That's from 5 to 8 on Thursday nights. Now, I have been there, and I have reached the summit of Honey Hot Wings at the Pizza Ranch, and it sounds like maybe you now too are officially on board with Honey Hot Wings from Pizza Ranch.
Yes, 100%. Now, I don't know if you had the boneless or the traditional, but I had the boneless hot honey wings.
I went traditional.
Yeah, there was all boneless when I was there yesterday. So, good. Very, very good.
So good.
So good.
So you're on the bandwagon of saying that might be the best wing in town.
When they say ain't no thing but a chicken wing, this is a very big thing. So I don't know, whoever said that can get out of here because these chicken wings are a big deal. Though that hot honey is very, very good.
You can order your wings, of course, the buffet with all your favorite pizzas and the salad bar and the chicken and the mashed potatoes. Have yourself an evening at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade, and then make your way over to the kickoff of the football game tonight, again an hour earlier. So the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in downtown Wadena presents Powers the Morning Sports Desk.
We are powered on hot honey wings. That's, how there's the big thing that the Vikings radio station does where they do the Friday football feast at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Do you think we could convince Zach at the Pizza Ranch to do like a Friday football feast at the Pizza Ranch buffet where we just do a live show there?
Yes, I do think he would do that, and I do think we should do that, and it's embarrassing we haven't done it yet.
Well, I mean, technically it would be, we'd maybe do like a Thursday night football feast so we can get the wings, I guess, but maybe we could see if we can make them special for us. I don't know.
If we're showing up, I think we just put it on our tab.
Please charge Hubbard Broadcasting for that one. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, we need to do that.
Maybe come playoff time or something. I don't know. We got to figure it out. We got to figure something out. We got also, speaking of playoffs, we're hoping, I don't want to make any guarantees, but we're hoping for some special surprises on our broadcast come that section playoff time. I don't want to guarantee anything, but I just want to put it out there that we have some things in the works we're pretty excited to be working on. So,
see,
just it's what we in the broadcasting business call a tease. And I've been told multiple times that even ESPN, even ABC, all these big companies, they promote. So we are going to promote a tease here for you. Deal. All right, good deal. Corey, last night, you, instead of joining Wing Night at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena, you were a little bit further north in Menahga for some Park Region Conference volleyball.
Yes, I was. Menahga beat Bertha-Hewitt in straight sets, 3 sets, a clean sweep. 25-22, 25-18, 25-17 were the scores of those 3 sets. CJ, 15 players on the roster for the Menahga Braves, and 11 of them got their name in the scorebook. I mean, just an like not an overall like singular dominant performance from any of the players, but unbelievable balance all the way across the board from the Menahga Braves. Melina Hendrickson led all players with 10 kills. She was the only player in double figures. But check this out. A kill and 4 aces for Callie Pinanimi, a kill for Mamie Pinanimi, a kill and 2 aces for Elise Torla, 5 kills, 1 ace for Kristen Aho, 2 kills for Haley Peterson, 1 kill for Grace Baki, 2 for Kiana Skook, 1 for Kaisa Hendrickson, 5 for Rhea Hillica, 4 for Drea Christensen, along with 1 ace. That's like almost the entire roster getting their name in the book. Bertha-Hewitt was led by Kendall Bayetz, 8 kills on the night. But overall, just in general, nice play from the Menahga Braves. Head coach Tori Kumalainen said before the game in our pregame show, she said, we started the season defensively pretty strong. And Menahga's always been that way. They've been feisty defensively. They just don't let the ball hit the ground. But I remember talking with her in a match in Sabika very early in the year, and she said, we have to find a way to find some offense. And then she was joking. She said, we kind of lost sight of our defensive abilities for a little bit, I think, in an over adjustment to try to find our offense. And we did find the offense, but then our defense struggled. And over the last week and a half, all of those things have started to gel back together. And I would say that was very evident in last night's contest. You just heard the balance offensively from Menahga, but then defensively they do what I would think of a Menahga volleyball team where they just don't let the ball hit the ground. It's just a nice, complete game for the Menahga Braves in this one. So they get their second conference win of the year. There are just 2 conference matches left in the season for both Menahga and Bertha-Hewitt. There's also senior night in Menahga, and they've got a whole host. By the way, full stats, full write-up, recognition of those seniors online at WDenaradio.com.
Corey, you mentioned recognition, and there was a big recognition in my volleyball game yesterday. I'll get to that in a second, but let me set the stage for you. The entire Wadena-Deer Creek student body present for a Park Region Conference volleyball game of 2 teams undefeated in the conference. And like you said, at this point in the season, not many conference games left. So whoever wins this one kind of gets put in the driver's seat for the PRC. It was the Henning Hornets versus the Wadena-Deer Creek Wolverines. On homecoming, entire student body present for a matinee game. And not only that, before the game, Corey, at Wadena-Deer Creek's great new video board, they had a little message before the game for their longtime head coach, Sue Volkman. She was present there, and obviously she's getting put in the Wadena-Deer Creek Hall of Fame later on this afternoon. And they had her in the building for the game, of course, to watch her daughter, who's the current head coach of Wadena-Deer Creek, and Courtney Thunberg. But then they brought her onto the court, and they had a little slideshow of some pictures of her throughout the years and coaching that Wadena-Deer Creek volleyball squad, and they honored her with the entire student body, kind of giving her a big ovation before the game, which I know Sue, Corey, she probably just loved being out there in the middle of everybody for that one.
I can't think of a thing she would like less than that.
No, it was really cool.
Yeah, that's a really good. I don't know if
they had to surprise her on that one. I don't think she knew that was coming.
Yeah, will you get out here, please? Because she would have just not showed up. I don't know if I told you this. I think it was did I do Wadena DGF? Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, like week 1. Yeah, very early in the season.
Yeah, so she was there. She was sitting across the way, and I sent her a text message. I go, I got an extra headset if you want to hop on the broadcast. And she goes, absolutely not.
Yeah,
her phone was. I watched it. I watched the whole thing happen because I was up in the wire. Her phone was sitting next to her on the bench. I saw the phone light up. I saw her look at it. She looked up at me, gave me the face.
She's like, I'm not even going to dignify this with an actual verbal response. You're just getting a big head shake. No, really absolutely not. Wadena-Deer Creek, they had the energy. They came out the first set, Corey, back and forth. Henning had the lead. Wadena-Deer Creek had the lead. Henning had the lead. Wadena-Deer Creek had the lead. And late, Wadena-Deer Creek was able to hang on for a 25-23 first set victory. And we go to set number 2. More of the same, back and forth. Henning has the lead. Wadena-Deer Creek has the lead. Henning has the lead. Wadena-Deer Creek finds a way to come away with a 25-21 victory in set number 2. And then in the third set, Wadena-Deer Creek got out to a big lead. And it's kind of one of those, like, you're Henning, you lost 2 really, really close sets. And sometimes you just run out of, like, the emotional gas in the tank of, like, you just kind of get beat up on a little bit. And then a couple things don't go your way in the third set. And all of a sudden you look up and you're down 13-3 and you're like, okay,
right.
Today's just not our day.
Yeah.
Like, what do? They fought hard. And even though it's a straight sets victory in the last set, the wheels fell off for Henning. That is not indicative of that game. Those two teams were throwing haymakers at each other for the entirety of the first 2 sets. It was a fun atmosphere. The entire student body was going at it for Wadena-Deer Creek. Henning also brought a contingent of students that were trying to make their voice heard as well. So it was a really fun atmosphere and just a playoff atmosphere. You know what I mean? Full gym, the pep band's going, cheering. It's loud. You're playing. There's no JV game before. They play those after. So you're out of routine. You know, like you're not playing at a normal time anyways. Like there's a lot of things that get you used to playing playoff volleyball, and you kind of get a little taste of that. For Wadena-Deer Creek, leading the way in kills. Who else but Peyton Gravel with 13 on the night. She also had a couple service aces. Kennedy Ness had 8. Jada Dykoff with 8 as well. Celia Arinio had 3. Tori Malik had 1. 1 service ace for Ness. Also a couple for, or 3 rather, for Jada Dykoff. 1 each for Kircher, Aaliyah Kircher, and Ashley Pavick. For the Henning Hornets, they were led by Maisha and Tony in the kill department with 9. Also 7 from Olivia Empter and 8 from Addison Bodie. This is a team that does have some seniors on it. They do have some leadership there. But they also have there's a few hitters for Henning. When you look at it, Olivia Empter, a sophomore, and Tony's the senior. She had a nice game. But then Addison Bodie is a sophomore. Also, Lillian Grieger was an 8th grader with 4 kills. So even like that Henning Hornets volleyball program is always in a good spot. Christy Fink is a phenomenal head coach, and she will herself be in Henning Hall of Fame someday. So like,
I just believe that Aisha's finally a senior.
She's been playing forever.
Forever.
And there's more girls like that for Henning who in 4 years are going to go, you're still here.
I know.
Get the COVID waiver. Like, yeah, it's fun.
Chad Henney of Henning volleyball.
They put the Henny in Henning, but like it's real. Coach Fink always has a good program, and they're going to be good. It's a wide open section 6A this year. And by that, I mean, everybody at the top is very good, but also everybody can kind of beat anybody in that top echelon. So it's, Coach Fink rattled off, I was talking to her pregame, rattled off like 6 different teams in 6A that could win it. And all are like really good. And she beats that. And obviously like that team in Henning gets put right in the mix in section 6A. So Wadena-Deer Creek is in the driver's seat. They are now 5-0 in the Park Region Conference. They have 2 more matches left against New York Mills and Verndale. Henning has 3 conference matches left to wrap up their season in PRC play. But if things kind of hold up the way they are, Corey, the Wadena-Deer Creek Wolverines have a chance to have a 4-peat on the Park Region Conference.
That looks good on a t-shirt, doesn't it?
That sure does. Find the full write-up at WDenaRadio.com's and Sports Cow on Facebook. Can I get a moo?
Moo!
Moo. Also, by the way, if you follow Sports Cow on Facebook, you can catch all the great work that Zeke is ripping up in local cross-country coverage. A bunch of big races yesterday. He has the full write-ups for those. So go read those over at WDenaRadio.com or by following Sports Cow on Facebook. Something else you can find on Sports Cow on Facebook, we shared a post from Park Rapids Panther Swimming. Want to give a shout-out here to Avery Schuler. This was earlier in the week on Tuesday night. Broke a 24-year-old record set by Carolyn Schick in the 50-yard freestyle swim with a time of 24.55. Avery now holds the school and pool records for the 50. Is that good?
Did you set a record? Yeah. No, if you're going to set a record, those are the kind of records you want to set. Way to go, Avery. That's so cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Congratulations to her. She's been setting records all year long for this team.
Like that the comments is holy mackerel because mackerel's a fish and this is done in the water. That's very good. Very well done by Liz Shaw in the comments.
That's great. 10 out of 10. Do not change it at all. Also, it's one where you just got to go,
Dang it. Matt, I didn't think of it.
Yes, 100%. All right, Corey. That's our local sports kind of a peek through here.
Okay.
Let's take a look at our state sports. The Minnesota Vikings get ready for another early kickoff. Don't you just love the 8:30s? I'm sarcastic. I know you like them. I don't.
It's hard. I don't. It's fine. One of them would have been okay. I don't like that I have to decide between skipping church for the 6th month in a row or watching a Vikings game. I don't really like that so much. What I do enjoy when it's now, I don't get up to watch anybody else's team play at this. Like, I've got better things to do. But what I do enjoy is that when the game is over, it's noon and you just have the rest of the day. You just get the rest of your Sunday that's not eaten up. So I do appreciate that.
That part is nice, but still 8:30 when it's like, I got to get up at 8:00 to be ready to care about my favorite football team. I haven't even had breakfast yet. Like, I gotta, there's just a lot of things going on and it's annoying. So yeah.
Or they didn't play ever in England.
Yeah.
I would prefer, that would be my preference, but whatever, what can we do? The Vikings decided it was something they wanted. So,
and by the way, they decided it was something they wanted to play on a field where the play clock didn't work. And one of their right tackles is out for a few weeks. And now they got to have another week in London. They had to fly in a replacement guard. We'll get to that in a second. Like, you had to fly. Like, it's not just like, oh, sign here, get to Minnesota. It's all right. You signed with the Vikings. How fast can you get to international waters? Is your passport up to date? Are you ready to go? And then you get to just practice in the middle of nowhere in London or in the fields of England for a week.
It's garden, as they call it.
Yeah. So
Governor.
Hello, goodbye. Somebody, I saw a reel on Facebook the other day or Instagram, and it was talking about if Alan Jackson was British, and it just has a guy singing Chattahoochee, except it's
guy does a lot of different songs in a lot of different accents. They're all brilliant.
And yes, Alan Jackson singing Chattahoochee British, complete.
Way down yonder in Chattahoochee.
Yeah. Remember, I refuse to try and help out the in terms of football loving community. I refuse to spread the football community to a place that can't say bottle of water correctly. Yeah, no, thank you. How about you say that right, and then you can get American football on your soil? How about that? Also, by the way, we call it football. This isn't football. Yeah, guess what? Is your country hosting the World Cup? No, thought not. So
actually, shut the hell up.
Yeah. Thanks, England. We're going to listen to your opinion. We haven't been listening to you since 1776. Thank you. Your opinion is duly ignored.
If you don't like it, raise the taxes on tea for the weekend.
All right. With this football game here, the Minnesota Vikings having some offensive lineman injuries. We talked about the Browns having their own issues, but they're also starting quarterback Gabriel. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Who cares?
Peter Gabriel for all I care.
It could be Saint Gabriel for all. It could be Gabriel the Angel for all I care.
The trumpet, Cleveland.
No, that trumpet's just sounding because the Guardians are done.
Well, you sound the trumpet, the Vikings will bring the Gallarhorn. How about that?
Yes, exactly. I think we could all get that working out. But the Minnesota Vikings are having to deal with some injuries, Corey. And if you look at how they came into this game.
Injuries.
This is now official according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. So he made a post talking about the Vikings injury issues that they are going to have to deal with here as I try to find his official wording. The Vikings ruled out these players for Sunday's game in London against the Browns. Ready?
Sure.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
Guard Donovan Jackson.
Yeah.
Center Ryan Kelly.
Rutrow.
Right tackle Brian O'Neill.
Yeah.
Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yeah.
And backup center Michael Juergens.
Oh boy.
So the Vikings are now on their third string center with their second string quarterback on there. Here's how your potential offensive line could look. You would have Christian Darrisaw at left tackle. Okay. You'd have Joe Huber, an undrafted guard, playing left guard. Okay. And then in center, you would have your friend and mine, Blake Brandel. And then at right guard, you would have Will Fries, and then right tackle Justin School.
Or as I like to call them, players X, Y, and Z.
Or as I like to call them, the players you get when you start a franchise on Madden and you set the roster to cupcake. Where it's like back in the old days of Madden when it was actually good, you could create your own franchise and they would auto-generate your rosters and you could pick, like, do you want them to give you a bunch of good players right away? Do you want it to be kind of medium? Or they would call it cupcake, which is like, do you just want a roster full of scrubs so that way you can like rebuild the roster on your own? And that's essentially what the Vikings have done at offensive line.
Yeah, Myles Garrett calls the Vikings offensive line breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's going to be bad, I think.
You ever see that meme? It's a video of Shannon Sharp, and he's like I don't know where. He's like, it looks like a big catering hall room, but he's like sitting at a table by himself, and he's just like picking off this big spread of food, and he's like, this is collard greens, mac and cheese, braised oxtail, that's the neck bone. He's like just going over this giant plate of food, like he's just about to dive in on it. And that's Myles Garrett. He's like, that looks good. That also looks good. Yeah. It doesn't matter where he's going to go. I guarantee you we will not see Myles Garrett go up against Christian Darrisaw very much. That is my prediction.
Why would he?
Avoid that guy.
Also, CJ Ham is out, so they can't even like put in a fullback for extra protection.
No, I think he's designated to come back this week.
Oh, okay. Well, thank God for that.
Thank goodness for that, because we will see a lot of Josh Oliver and CJ Ham chipping. I mean, they might need to do what the Steelers did against the Vikings, which is they brought in basically an extra offensive lineman. So they had 6 linemen on the field at a time.
They're going to have to run double tights, and that other tight end is going to have to be a lineman.
The problem is the Vikings might not have enough healthy offensive linemen to make that work.
How could they?
They did bring in some offensive lineman help. And they brought in, I'm trying to find the guy's name. He was, well, here's the reason you want to care. He's a Ricori guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Matt Walazetko.
Oh, yeah. No, that I feel better about that. That sounds like
doesn't that make you feel better?
I'm happy for him.
Ricori, stand up. It's just him and Eric Decker, but that's it.
It's pretty much just him and Eric Decker. Do you remember Eric Decker's stat lines in college?
Yes. In college for the Gophers, he was awesome.
It would be like Adam Weber would go 12 of 18 for 280 yards, and Eric Decker would have 11 catches for 270 yards. It was stupid what he did in college.
He single-handedly gave Tim Brewster about 2 more years of job security.
Gosh, he was great.
He was good. Why he decided to go there when, the Brew crew was there was
I know this much. I know that everybody at St. John's was hoping that he would get forgotten, that he would just get missed, because St. John's was on his list.
Could you imagine Eric Decker competing at St. John's?
Yes, I can. Have you ever been to 4th grade recess and played football with them?
Yeah. Not recently, but I was thinking of swinging over after we got done with this.
We'd crush them. Bring it on, 4th graders. I'm not afraid of you.
Like the scene from Billy Madison when Adam Sandler comes out and he's like, "You're all in trouble now." And yeah.
Oh, crap. It's October 3rd. I forgot all about Nudie Magazine Day on the air.
Darn it.
Is it too late to do it on Monday? What day is it today?
It's October 3rd.
Nudie Magazine Day. This conversation is going all over the place today.
But can you tell we don't really want to talk about the Vikings game?
We talked about Gabriel blowing the trumpet and Nudie Magazine Day and everything in between.
Yes. Okay. How about we wrap up this? Let's stream all of our thoughts together with this. Let's do a little more or less. I looked up the betting lines on ESPN.
Okay.
And let's just see where things are sitting at here.
Bad.
Let's start off with the spread. Do you want to know what the over-under is in terms of total points scored for this game? Take your guess.
I bet it's under 50. I'll say the over under is at 46 and a half.
36 and a half.
Oh no.
Which means they expect it to be like a 13-10 game.
That's brutal.
Uh-huh. So
wins this game then.
Are you taking the under or the over?
Probably the under.
I will take the over just because maybe we'll get a bunch of like it's the game everybody expects to be bad in one way and it's bad, but in the other direction. That's what I'm thinking for this.
36.5.
36.5. It went lower when the Browns announced they were starting a rookie quarterback.
That's really awful. That's got to be one of the lower ones ever.
Certainly one of the lowest this season. The Vikings are 3.5-point favorites.
Yeah, that seems.
The Vikings win like 14-10-ish.
The Vikings at least have like players in every single position group.
Right.
Cleveland only has their defense is really nice, but
their defense is good and they can get a field goal block as we've seen against Green Bay.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, this is not a great one. Let's take a look at the starting quarterback passing yards in this one, or passing touchdowns, I should say. The odds for Carson Wentz to throw 2+ touchdown passes is plus 175.
He's not going to do that.
Plus 260 for Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Nope. Let the over-under for passing touchdowns.
It's so far all the way by every single one of these actual bets. These are what you like to call stayaways. You don't bet unless there's like a turnover thing coming here for Carson Wentz. Is like Carson Wentz will he have 1.5 turnovers? One like that would be something I'd maybe bet on, or Gabriel 1.5.
Gabriel touchdown passes is at 0.5. Do you think Dylan Gabriel will throw 1 touchdown pass? Yes or no, Corey?
Yeah, probably.
I think I like just 1. There's like a good chance he can do that. Carson Wentz is at 1.5.
Yeah, I don't think he's throwing 2.
I don't think the Vikings are running 2 though. That's my only thing. So
how
he might not score 2 touchdowns? That's
if he completes 2 passes, they better both be for touchdowns.
Let's take a look at Quishon Judkins, the running back for Cleveland. His over-under for rushing yards is 76.5. What are you taking there?
Probably over.
I'll take the over. Based on the way Kenneth Gainwell ripped them up, that's not a great.
Vikings can't stop the run. Vikings have not been good on defense.
No, especially run defense.
Especially on all defense. I just don't like they haven't given up the points, but that's because some of the teams they play kind of suck.
Jordan Mason at 66.5 rushing yards. Taking the over or the under?
It's going to be the thing is they're not going to have to stack the box to put pressure on the quarterback because the offensive line is in such shambles.
Right.
I'll say over. Vikings are going to need him to have over if they want to win.
It'll depend on how this game goes. If the Vikings are winning, over. If the Vikings get down early, like Kevin O'Connell's going to pass. So that'll be, and like as every team would. So that'll be interesting. But yeah,
best player, most productive player.
Mm-hmm.
I think easily, offensively speaking.
The Vikings' most talented player, Justin Jefferson, 69.5 receiving yards.
I just don't. What did he have last game?
He actually had over 100, I think, or he had like 80 in the first half.
Yeah, probably.
There'll be a lot of like little swing passes to Justin Jefferson, I feel like, today or on Sunday.
7 catches for 70 yards or something like that. That's not unreasonable.
Jerry Jeudy for the Cleveland Browns, 44.5.
Again, if Cleveland wants to win this game, he's going to probably need it.
He's also been not great, but his quarterback play has also been not great. So
he hasn't been. Has Jerry Jeudy ever been like, look out for Jerry Jeudy?
Well, remember he was in that draft class with Justin Jefferson, and Jeudy was supposed to be the best wide receiver in that loaded class, and that's why the Broncos took him so early.
But
and the Broncos also never gave him a good quarterback either. So.
But answer my question: Has it ever been? Look out! Here comes Jerry Jeudy.
No.
Correct.
Jordan Addison, 42.5 receiving yards.
All of these numbers so far are if the Vikings want to win, he better.
Right.
Mason better have 67 yards rushing, and Jefferson better have 67 yards receiving, and Addison better have 45 or whatever you said those numbers were. Like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you think the Vikings are going to win, all 3 of those guys are going to hit those numbers.
Okay. One, TJ Hawkinson, 30.5.
Nah, I think it's probably more likely that Hawkinson gets the number than Addison does.
Yeah, I would say so.
If Addison gets it, it'll probably be on one catch.
Right. It'll just be a busted coverage and he was running wide open.
And then he'll get tracked down from behind.
By a white linebacker. That dude was fast, though. His 40 time was like the fastest this year coming out of the draft.
The ball was underthrown by 15 yards. We got to get off Addison's back for being caught. He had to come to a complete stop to catch that ball.
Also, that linebacker ran a faster 40 at the combine than Addison did.
Yeah, he's super fast, but he would not have caught him if that ball would have hit him even in some semblance of a stride.
Right. To be fair, it's hard to hit him in stride when you're running for your life.
Also that. Also, I'll leave it up to a Vikings fan to be pissy about an 80-yard reception.
To get them back in the game.
The play Vikings fans should be upset about is Jefferson slipping. He would have scored on that play.
The other play they should be upset about is Will Fries getting ineligible man downfield on a play where he wasn't even blocking anybody, or like in the play. He just was like wandering, and then they settled for a field goal on the opening drive.
Wandering's a tough look for a lineman. You can't wander.
You can't wander.
You got to go find anybody.
Or, yeah.
Because at least if you're downfield, you're
better taking somebody's head off, not going like.
Yeah. You like illegal man downfield, but at least you killed their safety.
At least the linebacker got hit out of nowhere and was like, oh, that didn't feel good.
It's not good. They're going to make fun of you, but they're going to make fun of you even more. Doing the John Travolta. That's not a good look.
Won't be a good look if the Vikings lose either. Their season might be donezo if that happens.
I think they're better than Cleveland, but I think barely.
Barely.
I think barely. But I think the best unit in this game is Cleveland's defense.
Yep.
And then the second best unit is the Vikings kicker.
Yep. Reichard better get ready to run, buddy.
Yeah, we've said it a lot this year. This might have to be one of those like Reichard 4 field goals.
Yep.
4 field goals and a touchdown by someone is a Vikings win.
This will be one where Kevin O'Connell will contemplate kicking a 60-yard field goal.
It also means that Carson Wentz cannot give the other team the ball.
What does Carson Wentz love to do? Take sacks and give the other team the football.
Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it?
That's why he's a backup.
Although, do they have to, if he starts against Philly, is he going to die in that game?
He has a better chance of dying against Cleveland, I think. I think Cleveland's pass rush is better than Philadelphia's. Philadelphia just has a better team, and they're a better.
I don't mean that. I mean because it's Philadelphia, and like, aren't they just going to want to destroy him?
Maybe. I think they're over it with the whole they won that quarterback dispute and they have a Super Bowl win
with BD Nick.
Yeah, they're defending Super Bowl champs. I don't think they care anymore about Carson Wentz.
They shouldn't.
They also shouldn't care because the guy that they picked to immediately replace him is still their quarterback.
Yeah, he's nice too, isn't he?
Well, he certainly has big thighs.
Would you just a hypothetical here, where this is, by the way, I love that how rambly this today is going.
We're at the very tail end of the show. People can be done if they want.
Do you have any ounce of anger, upsettedness, regretfulness, whatever, I don't know what the right word is here, about the Vikings electing to not keep Daniel Jones around? Have you thought about that at all? Have you even considered that? Are the Vikings in a better situation right now if Daniel Jones is on this roster?
Maybe. I think the Vikings wanted Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones he made the correct calculus. And the same thing with Sam Darnold, by the way. I want to go be the guy. I don't want to be anybody. Like, Daniel Jones signed with the Colts, and the Colts were like, hey, you're going to be number 2, but the first, you're coming in to be the starter. Like, we can't say it, but you're going to be the guy. And he wouldn't have been the guy. It's why Sam Darnold also, both of those guys in the same camp of, the team would have loved to keep either one of them around, but in, the other, there's self-interest in those quarterbacks of, I don't want to, the first game I mess up, have JJ McCarthy breathing down my neck. And by the way, even if Jones was playing, there's no guarantee. Anyway, because this offensive line has been in shambles. And
if hindsight is 2020, though, and Daniel Jones, who's been good, they would have re-signed him, and they could have re-signed him, whatever, as a backup. Isn't Daniel Jones better equipped to handle a mismanaged offensive line and a banged up offensive line than pretty much any of the other options that were available?
Maybe, but
not mentally, but physically, right?
Physically a little bit. I mean, Jones can run a little bit better. He can do a little bit better stuff. The Vikings wanted to keep Daniel Jones. It's just Daniel Jones didn't want to come back in the sense of he wanted to be the guy. So there's, other than franchise tagging a backup quarterback,
dumb.
Like the Viking, it's just one of those where it's like it on pay in Madden, of course. In Madden, of course, you would keep that guy around. In real life, there's just no way realistically you could have threaded that needle, unless, of course, you were going to bring back Sam Darnold and make him the starter in year 2. And that one I'm a little warmer towards, but mainly because at the end of this is like all a conversation for a different day. But like the short version is that Sam Darnold coming, everybody was off the bandwagon with Sam Darnold at the end of last year, and everybody was ready for McCarthy. Nobody wanted Sam Darnold, but like if they would have brought Darnold back on a franchise tag, I would not have been upset about it in the slightest.
I to answer my own question, I just wanted to ask the annoying question. I still have no interest in Daniel Jones.
No.
I didn't before, and I still don't. That's one of those, we play that game every once in a while. No one believes it, but it exists. It's one of those things that exists.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers last week, there were a couple times where there were a couple plays where the Vikings got defense look bad and they've struggled. But also, like, Aaron Rodgers knows where to go with the football, and veteran quarterbacks against the Flores defense know where to go with the football. And there were a couple times where Rodgers did the old, like, I'm going up to the line. This is probably a run play, but I like what I see with I'm going to just give a look to DK Metcalf like I would give to Devontae Adams, and he's going to just I'm going to throw it to a spot, and he's going to get there. And there's not much you could do with that, where, what Rodgers could have did with Jefferson in that circumstance would be interesting. Still, though, I still wouldn't sign Aaron. I wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers in my building, despite that fact.
Nowhere close, please.
Yeah. All right. We're out of here. Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Have a good weekend. See you.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.